Okay, hello, good morning. Now we're going to talk about the parts of the flowers and how does it work, okay, for the plants. Okay, all plants have, no, not all plants actually have flowers. The angiosperms have flowers, whereas the gymnosperms don't, are non-flowering plants. Okay, so when we talk about, oh yeah, gymnosperms are like cones, the pine trees and stuff, okay? What more? Ferns. Okay. Flowering plants or the angiosperms are uh, plants that bear fruits. Okay. And there are two types of flowers. They are the incomplete flowers and the complete flowers. Okay. So what's the difference? Complete flowers are flowers having the female and the male reproductive organs, okay? Whereas the incomplete flowers are flowers that the male and the female flowers are separated. Like for example, the pumpkin or the squash, okay? The calabasa, okay? That's an example of an incomplete flower. Separate the female and the male flowers are separated. Okay, they grow separately. Whereas the complete flowers are having the pistil and the stamen in one flower. Okay, so let's talk about the complete flower, the parts of the complete flower. The modified leaves that you can see under the flower are under the petals or the colored part. The petals or the colored part, under that there are what we call modified leaves. And these modified leaves are what called sepals. Okay, and this bunch of sepals that are found under it, I mean the bunch of sepals that are found under the petals are what we call calyx. Okay, calyx. Whereas the petals or the colored part of the flower, the bundles or the bunch of these petals are what we call corolla. Okay, so inside the corolla we can see the female and the male organs or reproductive organs of the flower. Okay, so the female is the pistil and the male is the stamen. Now this male reproductive organ or the stamen has two parts, and those are the filament, which holds the pollen, the filament, and anther. Okay, anther is the thing or the part of the flower that holds the pollen grains. Okay, now in the female part, which is the pistil, we have the stigma. This is the tip of the female part, wherein it's so sticky that when the pollen grains are blown or like what is brought by the agents of pollinations or the pollinators to the stigma, these pollen grains will just stick into it, and then it will just go down until the ovary. Now, the passageway of these pollen grains from the stigma to the ovary is what's called the style. Okay, that's passageway. In the ovary, this is actually this ovary, when it matures, it becomes the fruit. Okay, inside the ovary we have these ovules, and these ovules will be fertilized during the fertilization process by the pollen grains. And this fertilization process, when it matures, or this ovule, when it's fertilized by the pollen grains, when it matures, it becomes the seeds of the fruit. Okay, so that's it. Those are the basic parts of the flowers, and I'll be discussing more on the other parts or other topics in science in the next video. So please don't forget to share this video of mine. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Good morning.